Good evening. Today we'll see English verb tense review. I'm Solomon B. Anbichelvan, working as an assistant professor in the Department of English, Erode Sengundar Engineering College. So we all know that there are three major tenses: present tense, past tense, and future tense. First we'll see simple present tense, otherwise known as the timeless present. Simple present tense is used when you are referring to habitual actions that you always or never do. So when you are referring to unchanging truths, when you are making general statements of fact. So we know that simple present tense, the first form of the verb, is used to express an action. So here in this lecture, the main focus is on how do we use the tenses. So straight away the usage of simple present is given here. So in order to express habitual action, unchanging truths, general statements of fact, we use simple present. We'll see one by one. Now when you are referring to habitual actions that you always regularly do or what you repeatedly do, sometimes on the other hand it is negative and you never do. So here is an example: he always comes late to class. I always go to church on Sundays. My grandmother comes to my home on Saturdays. All habitual actions are expressed through simple present. When you are referring to unchanging truths, any guess? The sun rises in the east, unchanging truth. The sun sets in the west, unchanging. South pole attracts the north pole, unchanging truths. Same pole repels. So that is, when you refer an unchanging truth, we need to use the simple present tense. When you are making general statements of fact, so we can use simple present. So they are friendly, they are amicable in nature. So general statements, they are very cordial. So these are all the general statements of the fact that you can use simple present. So to express habitual actions and routine one and general statements of fact, we use simple present. And there are certain indicators that helps us to identify a particular sentence is in simple present, as well as we can also use those indicators to indicate a particular sentence is in simple present. We'll see those indicators. Look at this. In simple present we use always. He always comes to class in time. Usually. I usually play cricket in the evening. Whenever he comes to my home, he brings a lot of sweets. So sometimes he accepts the defeat. Rarely and every day, frequently, occasionally. These are the indicators which are used in simple present tense. So you can also make a note of it. While you are using simple present, you can use this indicator. That will be very helpful for the listener to understand more effectively. and this is the form of simple present. And the personal pronouns are given here: I, we, you, he, she, it, and they. The form of the verb is also there in the sentence. So I study, you study, he, she, it studies, and we study, they study. So the first form of the verb is used here to express simple present. Study is the first form. But look at the third row. He, she, it takes yes or es, ies to the first form of the verb to express simple present. The same way you can look at the right hand column. I wait, you wait, he, it waits, we wait, and they wait. So this is the form of simple present. So you have to keep this in your mind while you're using. You can change n number of verbs, but you need to use V1, and especially while you're using he, she, it as a subject, you need to add yes, res, or ies to the first form of the verb in simple present tense. Now look at this diagram. So in the center line is present, left side is the past, and right side is the future. So simple present in and around all this area it's being used. Now we'll see simple past. And the simple past is used when an activity or situation began and ended at a particular time in the past. In other words, when an activity or a situation is completed in the past. So generally we used to say that what did we do yesterday? What did we do last week? So all completed action is expressed through simple past. And the simple past is used to refer past habits. Completed action in the past. He was late to class yesterday. He used to come to class late. So completed action in the past. We arrived 3 weeks ago. Past habit. She always wrote a letter to her mother on Sunday night. That was her habit. So past habit was expressed through simple past. And now look at the indicators of past. Last night, last week, last year, last month, last Saturday, last semester, yesterday, ago, once upon a time, long, long ago. These are the indicators we use while we are writing simple past. Yes, already we informed that simple past is used to express the action which completed in the past. Now this is the form. Now the second form of the verb is used to express the action. Since it is in past tense, only the second form of the verb is used for all the personal pronouns. I studied, you studied, he, she, it is also studied, and we studied, they studied. So second form of the verb is taken to express that action. I saw a movie. I met my friend yesterday. She called me. So second form of the verb is used to express the simple past. So present, past and the future. So what happened already, that is expressed as simple past. We need to use the second form of the verb to express the action. So now we'll see present perfect. A tense very commonly used in English to refer to the past. It has a close connection with the simple past. Present perfect is used when an activity happened at an unspecified time in the past. The time is not mentioned while the sentence is expressed in present perfect. Happened at an unspecified time. If it is a specified time, we use simple past. If it's unspecified, that has to be expressed in present perfect. They have already seen that movie. The time is not mentioned. They have already seen that movie. Present perfect. I have been to London. Unspecified. When an activity has been repeated several times before now. Unspecified time. An activity has been repeated several times before now. Not now, before now. We have visited New York many times. We have visited New York many times. That means already we have completed that action number of times. When an activity was very recently completed before now. See, look at the previous one. Has been repeated several times before now. When an activity was recently completed before now. So that people used to bring this word immediate past. Past and immediate past. So before now. An action has recently been completed. I've just eaten. He has completed that action before now. So, since students, you used to come to class by 9 o'clock, the teachers may come to your classroom in a specified time. We can say that the student came to class by 9 o'clock. But the second art teacher, when she enters into the classroom, she can say that I have come just now. I have come just now. Recently been completed before now. When an activity is not completed in the past. I have studied Hindi for many years. I studied Hindi, that is a different meaning. I have studied Hindi for many years, it's not completed. So now we'll see the indicators of present perfect and before, so far, just, since, ever, already, recently, never, yet, for. These are the words which are used to express in present perfect. So form 1. So has or have, and then the past participle form of the verb. I have studied, and you have studied. He, she, it has studied. We have studied. They have studied. Only he, she, it, take, has. The remaining I, we, you, they they take have. So singular subject takes has, plural subject takes have. I is exempted from this rule. So you can use a number of verbs, but you can keep this form as or have in the third form of the verb to express present perfect. Look at the form 2, just shortened form. Have. I have. Contracted version. Okay, you have walked, they have walked, they have. So I have grown and you have grown. It has grown, we have grown, and they have grown. Now the diagram. Time on a line. Some connection with the past so that it is present perfect. Past action is completed. Present perfect also the action is completed. But it's completed just now. The present progressive tense. And we call as a present continuous tense. So the progressive is the continuous in nature. Sometimes called the present continuous tense. The present progressive tense is used when an activity is in progress now at the moment of speaking. At the time of speaking, when the action is going on, we can use present progressive, present continuous. When an activity began before now and continues into the future without stopping, that time also we can use present progressive, present continuous. When an activity is temporary, we can say that in present continuous. When an activity is developing and changing, we can use present continuous. I'm explaining something to the class now. He is taking 16 credits this semester. He's understanding English more and more because he moved into the city. So at the time of speaking, the action is going on. We can use present continuous. When activity began before now and continues in the future, you can use present continuous. If it is not permanent, that means temporary, you can use present continuous. And what are the indicators? So right now, at this moment, still, this year, this week, this month, as we speak. So these indicators will help you to identify these in present continuous. Sometimes these are all referential in nature. It refers that it is in a present continuous. And look at the form. So progressive continuous is ing form of the verb. Along with that, an auxiliary verb to make the sentence complete. And we know that he, she, it. Take is, and you, we, they take are, and I alone takes am. So the two forms are also given here, contracted as well as the I am studying and you are studying, it is studying, we are studying, they are studying. Instead of studying, you can use a number of verbs based on the situation, based on the action that you can use. But this is the form of present continuous. action is going on at the time of speaking, so that the hour mark is given. Future tense. So what will happen tomorrow? That is being expressed in future. The future tense is used to indicate that an activity or event will take place at a time in the future. An activity, an event, anything that happens in the future, that means tomorrow. Keywords, indicators. When I'm retired, I'm going to travel. Next week, we'll work on punctuation. He's going to get his car fixed tomorrow. A plane departs at noon next Friday. These are the indicators. You know very well that tomorrow, next Saturday, next week, next month, next year. And future, will plus first form of the verb. Will indicates the future. Stay indicates the action. So I'll stay. So you will stay, he, it will stay, we will stay, they will stay. So based on the requirement of the action, you can use the same form to express something in simple future. And another one is, I'm going to stay, and you're going to stay. She's going to stay, we are going to stay, and they are going to stay. They'll stay is also future. They are going to stay. That is also future. Sometimes the simple present tense or the present progressive tense are used to express a future meaning. Usually these tenses are used when scheduled events are being discussed. For an example, if the Prime Minister or the President visits a state, so it is a scheduled event and they are being expressed through simple present, present progressive, simple future. So I arrive, the President arrives, the Prime Minister arrives here. So, but it is a scheduled event that indicates the future meaning. I'm arriving. That also indicates future. So sometimes the simple present tense and the progressive tense express a future meaning when the event is scheduled. We can use simple present and the present continuous to express future. The past, present and the future. Other English verb tenses. We'll see the meaning. The tenses are combinations of the tenses we have just revived. Past perfect. This tense is not used a lot since simple past itself serves the purpose. So it is often used in English. It can often be used interchangeably with the simple past because these tenses do not differ much in meaning. The past perfect tense refers to activities that happened before a specific time in the past. Now look at the example. He had visited her many times before she died. So before she died, he had visited. So two actions happened. One happened earlier and another one happened later. The first action, which is expressed through past perfect, and the second action is expressed through simple past. When I entered the railway station, the train had already left. So the train had already left. That happened first. The train had left the station. So it is mentioned the past perfect. When I entered the railway station, that is in simple past. So we can say past perfect is used when two actions happened at the same time in the past. The earlier action is expressed through past perfect. The later action is expressed through simple past. So the form had plus past participle. Past progressive, that means past continuous. This tense is used to refer to activities continuously in progress around the time in the past. Progress around the time in the past. They were eating when the taxi arrived. As I mentioned, the connection between past perfect and simple past, the same way past progressive, past continuous is also used along with simple past. The form of the verb is was, were, and then verb plus ing. That's past progressive. Past perfect continuous. This tense is used when an activity was continuously in the progress before a specific time in the past. It is very rarely used nowadays. I had been thinking about her before she called. I have been thinking about her before she called. Had been plus verb plus ing, that is past perfect progressive or continuous. Present perfect progressive. This tense is used to describe actions that have been continuously in the progress before now. These actions are not completed. Still it is going on. It's in present perfect continuous. I have been waiting here for the last 2 hours. The preposition for. So keyword is used here. I have been waiting. I am waiting. At the time of speaking, the action is going on. So we can say I am waiting. But I have been waiting. So the action has started in the past, but still it is going on. So that it is present perfect continuous. It's used I have been waiting here for the last 2 hours. So here I can add one more thing. I have been waiting here since 3 o'clock. You can say that. So since means an exact time. For means a period of time. It is mainly used in present perfect continuous and in present perfect tense. So these are the indicators which are mainly used to express present perfect and present perfect continuous. Since and for are mainly used in present perfect and present perfect continuous. The form of the present perfect continuous is has or have been plus verb plus ing. Future perfect. The future perfect expresses the idea that an activity will occur before some future time. Some future time. She will have finished dinner before the game starts. She will have finished the dinner before the game starts. from the present looking at the future and telling that she will have finished the dinner before the game starts. Will have plus past participle. I can give one more example also. I will have come to your home before your father leaves to United States. So you can give a number of examples. You can keep this form in your mind, and will have plus past participle. Future progressive tense. That means future continuous. This tense is used to refer to activities that will be continuously in progress around some future time. We'll be flying over New York at noon tomorrow. And I'll be watching a new movie by this time tomorrow. So, will be plus verb plus ing. In a specific time in the future, an action will be going on that is expressed through future continuous tense. So, the form of future continuous is will be plus verb plus ing. Future perfect continuous. This tense is used to refer to activities that will be continuously in progress before a future time. He will have been working for 3 hours before you arrive. So you have scheduled to come to a particular time. Before that, he'll have been working for 3 hours. That means you have completed 3 hours of work before you arrive. That is the meaning. Will have been plus verb plus ing is the form of future perfect continuous. And overview of the English verb tense and present, past, future, and it is simple, perfect, and progressive, and perfect progressive. And perfect have plus verb, third form of the verb, and then be form of the verb, auxiliary verb plus ing, perfect progressive. So for the present, past, and the future. So we have seen the 3 tenses and the types and where are they being used. Thank you.